If you want to hear my answers to the makeup addiction tag, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video. This time it is the makeup addiction tag. And this tag was created by Tracy Lea at Tracy Lea Beauty. And I think it's Lee, not Leah. Lee. Anyway, I will have her video linked in the description box as well as her channel. And I want to get through these questions. There are a total of 14 questions in this tag, and let's get right to it. It is a sensitive topic for a number of folks, and I think makeup addiction is something that is good to talk about, and I hope that in some way, shape, or form, my answers help think of this topic in different ways or just offer some information. I think it's always good to talk about this kind of a thing because I think that it can be very easy when we feel like we have a compulsion to really beat ourselves up. And I don't think it's very useful, but talking it through, I think is. And so hopefully this is what it will do in answering these questions, and I will do my best to be as honest and forthright as I can. So let's go with number one. How long have I been addicted to makeup? I'm very careful with the word addiction because I think that I think it can be used a little bit too loosely. How much have I had a very heavy interest in makeup? That would be 2 years. And that is when I realized that I could wear makeup because I used to have a lot of skin issues. I'll put that video here if you want to hear it. And so I really feel like I am making up for a couple of decades of not being able to use makeup like I would have liked. And now I can basically do whatever the heck I want. And so I went from 0 to 60 really quickly. And now I'm just kind of I'm having to retrain myself to not look to acquire as much as I used to because I went, like I said, from 0 to 60. And now I need to slow my horses, slow that roll because I have enough. I have more than enough. And so that is what I'm trying to retrain myself to stop focusing outward and focus more inward on my collection. And to me, whether I have a problem with the continued acquisition is going to be by how much my collection grows. And I don't do regular declutters because I think that decluttering is just an excuse to bring more in. I am paying more attention to how much is coming in, how much money I'm spending, and ensuring that over the long term, I don't have this habit of seeking that rush of consumption by buying more. So that's kind of where I'm at. Number two is, what is the makeup item that I am most addicted to buying? Can you tell? Can you see behind me? It is mostly eyeshadow palettes. I have more eyeshadow palettes as far as volume of stuff than anything else. And I have made it a point to have all of my makeup on my back shelves here. I don't have any in drawers. I don't have any hidden. I want to be able to, at any given time, see what I have. So all of my eyeshadow palettes, all of my face palettes, all of my lipsticks are out for me to see at any given time. And a ton of my singles just on the shelf above in magnetic palettes. So I make it very, very clear for myself what I have at all times, and it keeps it top of mind. And it also prevents me, I think, keeps me from buying as many eyeshadow palettes because I have a constant reminder of, oh yeah, I have that one. Oh yeah, I have this. I find it very helpful. And I also think it's helpful filming with that in the background because you also get a sense of what it is that I have, and the different palettes that are in the front or back change around from time to time, so you have a better view of what I have in my collection. How many of my favorite items do I have? So I said it was eyeshadow palettes. And so including everything down to quads, and also magnetic palettes that hold singles, I have 95. 95. For me, my kind of cutoff, I feel like is triple digits. So if I get eyeshadow palettes over 100, I really need to ask myself some serious questions. I think everybody has a different number. And for me, it's like when I get to triple digits with eyeshadow, I really need to have a little chat with myself. So that is my line in the sand, and I think everybody has a different line, but that's mine. Number 4 is, do I buy makeup just to buy it? No. Am I opportunistic? I am. When I have palettes that I've been coveting for a long time and they finally go for 50% off, I get them. And so there are palettes that I've been coveting that may have been out in the market for up to 3 years. Not that I've been into makeup for that long, but that palette's been out for that long. And I wait until it's half off. That tends to be my sweet spot. 40% is fine. 40 to 50%, that's kind of where I'm at. And so when it does, and it's a palette that I think is very pretty and complementary to my collection, I will pounce on it at that time. So I'm very opportunistic. And yeah, and I'm happy with that because I feel like I'm a marketer. I have that in my background. Companies do not expect you to pay full price for products. They use what's called a weighted average. They expect that some will go for full price at a premium for, not wanting to wait, wanting to be the first, blah, blah, blah. And they also expect palettes to go for a great deal less in special promotions. Somewhere in the middle is what they expect their average price per palette to be. Given I have that as a background, I cannot stomach paying full price for a palette. I abhor it. So I am much happier to let the hype go, to buy a palette for cheaper, and I'm a lot happier that way. There are only 2 palettes that I've purchased for full price in my collection. One is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and then the other one is the Marc Jacobs Leopard Frost palette. And every time I use those palettes, it irks me. It was too much money. So that's how I feel. Number 5 is, do you look at an item and have the need or compulsion that I need to buy just one more to complete the collection or to complete my collection? No, I'll give you an example. So I have the Naked 2, Naked 3, and Naked Heat. I have them though because I bought the Vault. I wanted to see what the whole Naked thing was all about. And I also have the Ultimate Basics and the Naked Basics 2. I have not purchased the Naked Cherry. And I have the Naked Smoky, but I haven't purchased the Naked Cherry. I haven't purchased the Naked Reloaded, and I will not be purchasing the Naked Honey. I'm not completionist when it comes to Naked palettes. I have enough. I appreciate being able to compare those iconic palettes to other palettes that I have. I think I can be helpful that way on YouTube. But I bought those palettes. They were half the price, the original price in that Vault. And I was very happy to be able to try those palettes to get context around what were palettes that were so important to people. Another example is the Tartlet in Bloom, and Tartlet Toasted. I got those as a Vault, basically half off. And it has helped me understand Tarte, and it's helped me understand Urban Decay, at least when it comes to their neutrals collections. So no, I'm not a completionist, and I don't need everybody's holiday release every year. That's just not what floats my boat. And it's probably what makes me comfortable waiting and being patient to get a palette for the price that I'm willing to pay for it. I went digging behind me to answer this next question, and that is number 6. Do I have more than 10 mascaras? The answer is yes, because I keep getting samples. So when Sephora offers up a deluxe sample mascara as part of a purchase, I tend to hop on those, and virtually every mascara that I use, I did not pay for, and if it is a full size, I definitely did not pay full price for. So I'm very opportunistic with mascara. Mascara is just black stuff that you put on your eyelashes. I don't have to have the best of the best or the most differentiated mascara. I am happy to try just about any brand. Do I have some preferences? Sure. I love the Lancôme Monsieur Big. I like the Stila Huge very, very much. And the L'Oreal Lash Paradise as well. But let me show you what it is that I have, because it's how many are open is the question. I went behind me for these, and then I have these two. And if you want to know more about my mascara usage, you can take a look at my Mascara Madness playlist. I go through what I have open, what I'm using on a regular basis, because I'm trying to get to reduce the number that I have open at any given time. So right now I have these two in my makeup drawer. This is for my lower lashes. This is for my upper lashes. This is the Lise Watier, which is a Canadian brand, V Element. And then this is another Canadian brand called Annabelle, and this one is the Skinny Mascara from that brand. I really enjoy both of these mascaras. They're in my everyday drawer. That's what I'm using right now. And then I keep the rest of my mascaras in a sealed container so that hopefully they don't dry out so quickly. I have two of the Lash Paradise mascaras. One is waterproof, one is regular. I have the Supersizer. This one is waiting in the wings. It's a mascara I have not used. I'm keeping it, saving it for when I need to crack into a new one. But because it's been opened, I cannot consider it unused. So that's why it's in here. I did do a focus on Hourglass. So I have a sample of the Caution Mascara open. That's why it's in here. And when I did a collab with Steph from Ireland, and right here, Steph Beauty 92, I think, I just put a picture there. I ended up cracking open the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced for her. And I have it in here because I don't want to use it right away. I want to finish the V Element by Lise Watier first, and then I'll crack into that Better Than Sex mascara because, well, I'll crack into it. I have used it once, but I still consider it very, very new and virtually unused, and so I don't feel like it's going bad or anything. So that will be my next one to use, because out of all the mascaras that I have in here, that is the one that is the most expensive, and it's the one that when it dries out, it flakes very badly. And so I want to make sure to use it first out of everything else that I have, so that I have more time with it before it starts flaking like crazy. So that is a total of 7 mascaras that I have that are technically open, even if I've only opened them once. And when I started the Mascara Madness project, I think I had a total of 13. So obviously having a project where you're focusing on certain products is helpful to help just pare down what it is that we have. Number 7 is, do I ever throw makeup away? And the answer is yes. And I tend to throw makeup away if it does not bring me joy. I really don't like it, and it's not something that I would care to pass on to someone else because I think it's not good or it's not sanitary. I also throw out makeup when I just realize, Hélène, it's too old. And I had a palette, I'll put a picture right here. I had a palette that was from over 10 years ago that I still had. And based on the picture, you can see that it was 10 years old and it doesn't show that much wear. And that's because of my difficulties in wearing makeup for a very, very long time. And when I realized, 10-year-old makeup and I had some new palettes coming in as I started the channel and started my exploration of makeup, it was time to let 10-year-old shadow go. And I only ended up keeping a single pan from that whole collection. And it was eyeshadow, it was cheek products, it was lipsticks. There was a lot in that kit. And that goes right into question number 8. What is my oldest makeup item? And I might as well show you that single eyeshadow. I have it right now in a palette because I'm intending to take it with me on a trip. And it's this one. And it's a very pretty green eyeshadow. And I just could not resist keeping that one shade from that palette. Let me just build it up for you a little bit more. And this is one where I would use a base just to help bring out the color, but I find that it's kind of a shiny olive to forest green, and I really, really enjoy it when I put it on. So that is the single eyeshadow that is 10 years old that I have kept in my collection. And it still performs, it's still fine. I mean, it doesn't perform like when it was new, obviously, but I have no problem still using it. And if anything, that eyeshadow is just a reminder of how lucky I am now compared to what my limitations were in using makeup before. And every time I see it, I'm grateful for what I can do now compared to what I could do before. Number 9 is how often I shop for makeup. The word shop, used as a verb, shopping, it's not very well defined. Because are you including window shopping? Are you including actually purchasing? Those are two very, very different things. I am looking every single day. And I'm looking every single day because I'm also trying to know what it is that is new out there, what people are talking about, informing myself on some new releases because I want to be able to reference that, discuss it if I need to, relative to something else that I have in my collection. So I look often, and I look often, especially on indie brands, because they don't have the in-your-face marketing that more established, larger brands have. And I like to understand where my favorite indie brands are with their product line and how they're evolving, what they're doing differently. So I am online, either on my phone or online on the computer, practically daily, going on Sephora. We don't have Ulta, but going on Sephora, going on Shoppers Drug Mart. Those are the two big makeup retailers as far as I am concerned in my city and in my country. And then there are some department store makeups, and then there are a number of cosmetics companies that I will look at online and just keeping abreast of what they're doing and how they're evolving as brands, and I find it very, very helpful. I definitely don't buy stuff every day. And I'm also paying attention to promotion. So I'm very, very opportunistic. I'm very opportunistic at Sephora. I'm very opportunistic at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I have my wish list always in mind of things that I kind of say, okay, well, if it goes 50% off, I really, 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 really want this item. I'll give you an example. The Tartiste Pro palette, I really want that one. And it's been out for a number of years and I keep missing it at the 50% off mark. And it is definitely on my list. I want that palette quite a lot. And I'm going to be very patient, and it will come around again at 50% off at some point, and I will nab it. I've been looking, hoping to get it, and I missed it once at 50% off. They were sold out. It will come around again. And that's an example of how I can be very patient. And I don't tend to now. I used to at the very beginning of my collecting. I used to jump on anything that was 50% off until I realized that no, 50% off is pretty normal in the makeup world, at least for the big brands. I can be very, very patient for what it is that I want, and I'm extremely selective now because I have a collection to evaluate anything else I'm considering against. And I think I'm very proud of how I have collected or created my collection so far, and for something to get displaced by something new, it's gotta be really good. And okay is not enough for it to make it into the collection. Plain and simple. Number 10 is, do I buy products just for the packaging? When it comes to eyeshadow palettes especially, I am very particular about the product as a whole. I want to like the outside as much as I like the inside, and vice versa. To me, it's an experience. Creating a look is a creative experience, and the packaging to me has as much effect on my creativity as the contents. Of course, the contents has to be good quality, but I do care very much about the packaging. I think it's part of the whole, it's a whole meal deal. And so when a palette has bulky, horrendous, ugly packaging, it really affects what I think of the shadows, because I think of the emotion I'm going to feel every time I use the palette. And if I'm aggravated with the packaging, it is not going to make me want to use the shadows inside. So packaging is a very significant part of the purchasing decision for me. I need quality eyeshadows, but I have to be in line with the packaging selection the brand has made for a given collection or for a given palette. Very, very important to me. Is there a product that I have just purchased for the packaging? There's one that comes pretty close. Let me show you. The one that's pretty close is this one. And I am very much in love with this packaging. I think it is gorgeous, as is, though, the product inside. I think this highlighter is absolutely the bomb. It's so beautiful, and the compact itself is just absolutely mesmerizing. Now, Smashbox has come out with, they have one right now, a palette that has this amazing kind of jeweled cover. And I looked at the inside of the palette, and I wasn't as jazzed about the inside as I was the outside. And even though I absolutely love the packaging of that palette, I'm not going to get it. It has to be that I like the inside as well as the outside. And again, I did not pay full price for this. I think I got 40 or 50% off. But yes, the packaging itself, there was a very big level of attraction for me to this packaging, but I'm not usually attracted to something enough to feel like I need it at all costs. That just doesn't happen. Although I have to say that the Marc Jacobs Frost, Leopard Frost, is an exception. I ended up paying full price for this, and like I said, it's one of two palettes that really tick me right off that I paid the amount I paid for it. It is not worth it. It's gorgeous packaging, and I will refill this packaging when it's empty of the shadows in here, because I do love the packaging, but it was absolutely not worth the $59 Canadian I paid for. It's one of two items I paid full price for, and it is a constant reminder of how stupid that was. And I say stupid, I mean stupid for me. If you are comfortable paying full price and it doesn't eat away at you, then it's fine. It's just not something that I am comfortable with. And I know each time I do it, I deeply regret it. And so it doesn't work for me. That's all I'm saying. I am not evaluating or judging someone who chooses to pay full price. If they feel they got the value and they're happy with the price they paid for what they got, that's what's important, period. Number 11 is, when a new item is released that I want, do I set an alarm? Heck no. Heck no. When you set an alarm for a release, you're going to pay full price. I think we've established I don't do that. So no, I don't feel the need to jump on a product that, even limited edition, whatever, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It'll come my way sometime in the future. but I don't have to be in line. And I think that there's a lot of stress, anxiety, fear that goes into feeling the need to be online at a specific time to get a new release. I'm not about that. I don't get any joy from that. No, thank you. Number 12 is, do I have the Ulta or Sephora app on my phone? I will substitute Ulta for Shoppers Drug Mart because that is our version of Ulta in Canada. And yes, I have both those apps on my phone. The Shoppers Drug Mart app is called the PC Optimum app, and it gives me deals that I can get at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I have the Sephora app on my phone as well, but only when I need it to be. So for example, right now is the VIB and VIB Rouge sale going on until late August, I think August 27th. I have the app on my phone right now. When that sale is over, I delete the app. I'll put the app back on, delete it. I'm just, again, being opportunistic because Sephora puts specific deals on during sales events like this. For example, the Huda Beauty, there are 2 palettes from Huda. There are 2 palettes from Natasha Denona that are on, I think, 40% off when you take the 20% into consideration. That's a significant discount. If I were coveting those, I think, 4 palettes right now, I would be all over them. But just because they're 40% off doesn't mean I'm going to get them. They're not palettes I'm interested in. So, but I still want to know about them. And so I will pay attention every morning, early every morning, to see if they've put another palette that is 40% off, and maybe it's one of those palettes that is on my wish list. So again, being opportunistic. Once the sale is over, the app's going to be gone, and so on, because I don't want the app. It makes it very, very easy to buy stuff, and it just ends up facilitating bad behavior. So when I don't need it on my phone, I take it off. Number 13, do I have so much makeup that I forget what I have and that I purchase items again? No. No. I have a full inventory of what I have. I have 2 train cases, one for skincare and one for backups of makeup. I check my train cases before I purchase anything. I do not want to buy extras of stuff I already have. And as a matter of fact, when I think that I want something, usually going into my train cases gives me a sobering view of what it is that I have and the fact that I can forego whatever it is that I'm looking at buying. So that is really, really helpful. Just as is being able to see my whole collection of eyeshadow palettes behind me. It is a constant reminder of how much colorful eyeshadow I have, how much basic and neutral eyeshadow I have, and I don't really need anything. And I think that that visual reminder constantly has really helped not bring in products that are really not going to be complementary to what I already have. Number 14 is, does my makeup make me happy? My makeup makes me happy not just because I own it. That doesn't bring any happiness. That would just be happiness from hoarding. I don't get happiness from hoarding. I get overwhelmed when it's just to own stuff. My makeup collection makes me happy when I'm playing with it. So if I'm having a little play date with my palettes, just swatching a bunch of stuff, reminding myself of what I have and that kind of thing, by going into the various palettes, not just knowing which palettes, but exactly what is in every palette, and also rotating my palettes and making sure that I get use out of all of them. And that project I mentioned earlier, which is the palette collection roulette, that it brings me a ton of joy, and it's even more joyful for me because other people are also participating in me really exploring and doing all sorts of very interesting things with my collection. This makeup look today is in big part because of the collection choices that 3 people made for me about a week ago, and that I'm using palettes together, combinations of palettes that I probably would not have selected on my own. Oh, I know I wouldn't have selected on my own, so that's really cool. That brings me a lot of joy. So finally, the last thing for me to say is I tag you. If you have a YouTube channel, I tag you to do this tag. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, I tag you to give some answers to the questions in the comments. That would be fantastic. Or on any other platform that you have access to that you wish to share. That would be fantastic. I would love to hear your answers to these questions on makeup addiction. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found my answers useful, and I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.